duelists, and welcome to another video. Before we get to the topic at hand, I want to give a big disclaimer. Over the past couple of months, I have given disclaimers involving the audio quality of behind my videos. As of late, more and more people have become more uncomfortable with it, despite me giving my disclaimer. And I already posted a community post. Feel free to check it out if you get the chance. I go way more in depth involving my audio issues and why have not updated on them so far. But on this video, I'm just going to give the disclaimer for those who just don't the video because of the quality issues. I wholeheartedly understand it is a little bit frustrating, and trust me when I say I have been trying to find optimal solutions despite me trying out what I currently have on hand with current equipment that I've been buying. That being said, updates are coming soon. I've already purchased the equipment, so please be patient with me for the next upcoming videos or so. If not, I wholeheartedly understand. With that disclaimer out of the way, let's get on the topic of today's video. Greetings, duelists, and welcome back to the Underground. This is episode 12, and today we've gone full circle. If you've been here since the first episode, you already know that I started the Underground series right after Alliance Insight became legal in the TCG, and we got debuted the new cards to support the Maliss theme. The purpose behind this video is to prepare duelists who are currently playing in the TCG for Alliance Insight. This is the set that everybody's been waiting for. This is the set that is going to cement Maliss's position, the meta game for the upcoming next months, and will most likely be the case for our World Championship qualifier national season. So, without further ado, let's begin. So, a lot of YouTubers are already showcasing combos involving the updated Maliss deck. I don't want to be another one in that room that just shows you the same thing other players have been showing. I'm also not going to suggest videos. If you want to see my perspective on how I play the Maliss deck post Alliance Insight, feel free to comment it down below. But for this video in particular, I'm just going to do a PSA style of video talking about the couple of engines you should be keeping an eye for and stuff that people often overlook when it comes to the Maliss deck when practicing. But yeah, without further ado, let's begin. So this is a TV Grinder replay. This is a $1,000 Ironman tournament hosted by Jib. If you remember Jib, I showcased him on one of the YCS video. That's post episode 4 of the Underground series, or episode 5. He hosted a $1,000 tournament, and this is a match between Maliss and White Forest. The Maliss player goes first, and before we get into playing the video, I want you, the viewer, to look at this opening hand of Backup Administer, Ash Blossom Joy Spring, Metal Tronus, Mocharming Porolia, Dominance, and tell me if this is a playable hand or an unplayable hand. The answer might surprise you. I'll play the video for a couple of seconds. The Maliss player sets Metal Tronus, and they ended their turn, and their opponent drew Called by the Grave. So glance, you look at this hand, and you might be thinking, well, this is kind of unplayable. I think that no Rip Kid No Cry is justified on just setting Metal Tronus and just ending. However, I do think there were two possible solutions to this hand that he was playing, and I want to showcase you those solutions. Solution number one: you normal summon the backup Adinister. Backup Adinister is going to search for Wizard Adinister, and if we look at their opening hand, the opponent had Fualas, but we have the Ash Blossom to counter the Fualas. So we're going to discard the Demo Charmy for the Resolution of Backup effect. We're going to lick away backup for Lingurivo. And since we control a Cyber's monster summoned from the extra deck, we can special summon the Wizard Adinister. Wizard Adinister is going to bring back the backup Adinister. Those two are going to make Splash Mage, and Splash Mage is going to make us Decode Talker Heat Soul. And then we use Heat Soul's effect, and we draw one card. So we'll have Lingurivo, Decode Talker Heat Soul, Dominance Impulse, Metal Tronus, and depending whether or not we get full loss, a couple of draws, we also have the Ash Blossom plus 2 draws from Heat Soul. It's not the best hand, it's not the most defensive hand, but it is still playable. Now let's look at another scenario. We have the same opening hand, but what we're going to do instead is we're going to normal summon the Perulia, and we're going to turn Perulia into Salaman Great Almirage. Yeah, so I'm not gonna fault No Kid if they're not running that in their Expedic, but one really big disclaimer is you should be playing Almirage if you're playing the Maliss deck, especially if you're playing Hand Trap. Almirage enables you to use your hand traps as pseudo starters if you have backup Adinister. So now that we summoned Almirage, we're going to use the backup. Backup is going to special summon. Backup is going to add us the Maliss B Dormouse, and we're going to discard the Dormouse. And after that is just full combo. I'm going to show you the line involving Lizard Dose. A lot of people have the Splash Page line. I think the Lizard Dose line is a lot better because despite it playing into a few more cards, it just gives you the flexibility of just summoning other monsters. For example, SB Lomag. It also makes sense so you can use Splash Page later in the turn, like as another extender. Again, I'm not going to go too in depth with these combos. You can, like, if you practiced the Maliss deck enough, you should already know how these combos go by now. There are a few different variants. This is the variation I opted to go with. Basically, I went with Red Ramson, White Binder, with Echo Talker Adinister, with the 2 Maliss Trap cards and then bonus. Obviously, the Ash Blossom is probably going to be in the graveyard because my Fualas. And this token is just to indicate you do have a draw that you got out of White Binders. Against the opening hand, the Maliss player had, this is not a bad start. I think this is enough to just stop your opponent outright. So this was an easy victory for Rip Kid No Cry if they played Almirage. So let's go back here. Something I did not discuss in any underground video prior to this one is the Kashtira engine. So I'm going to give one disclaimer here. I think that Kashtira engine is very viable. It's very good. I often overlooked it because it was an engine that not many players were keen on revisiting ever since YCS Anaheim. But in a a format where Ryziel Detonator is limited, this engine is way more powerful now than what it was before because Kashtira Unicorn is just a death sentence against the Ryziel deck. Just being able to just eliminate Ryziel Detonator straight from the game is already really strong. The reason I don't like the Kashtira engine in particular is because one, it conflicts with Bestials. If you have Bestials in your open hand and you're using them as offensive cards, that does freeze your Kashtira summons. The other reason I don't like the Kashtiras is because Brawl and Lockbird is super popular right now, despite the Ryziel dwindling in popularity, and that's just a precaution against just Ryziel, Memento, Mermail, Atlantean, Crystron, just to name a few decks that are running around in the world. Maliss was already enticing as a strategy that did not lose to Brawl. When backup and Ignister comes to the TCG, this strategy will start getting weaker to the Brawl Lockbird strategy. Especially since Maliss already had a few consistency hits. So just having another engine that just is weaker to Brawl is just not favorable. I've also seen a lot of players cutting the Fiendsmith engine from the post-Alliance Insight support. And I do understand the merit behind this. Fiendsmith takes a lot of extra space, and you need space for Echo and Ignister. Some people are playing 2 copies of Lingeribo. Some people are playing the Almirage alongside those. So that's already a couple of extra spaces that is already being shaved off by the Fiendsmith card. I've seen Cybers, heavy piles, being more popular as well. That being because of the resilience behind our Lancia, which is often the reason why you see most adding Ignister combos not using Lister Dose but using Splash Mage instead. So I'd say there is no bad merit behind the Cynet or Cybers pile, be it with or without Circular, or with other Circular cards, or with I Need You, Achichi at Ignister has actually been seen more play now. If you've been here the first episode, you already know that I was one of the first people advocating for that to be a potential option. The other reason for the dwindling behind Fiendsmith, and we'll just take this as an example, is the Fiendsmith strategy does not allow you to play Dominus Impulse. I think Dominus Impulse is going to be significantly more important. Post-Alliance Insight is going to be very important because of the mirror match. But not just the Maliss mirror match, and not just decks like Warrior Focus. One matchup that's really bad into this deck, and I will talk about it more on another episode, it's Mitsurugi. I think that Mitsurugi's make deck is really, really powerful against Maliss. I think a lot of people are underestimating that deck. The matchup is really bad for Maliss, to the point that I don't think Maliss will be tier 0. That being said, let's talk about an engine that's actually getting stronger post-Alliance Insight, and that is the Danger engine. So if you've been here like for the past couple of months, you already know that I'm a big fan of Dangers in this deck, and I think Dangers are still viable post-Alliance Insight. For starters, the Dangers become extra extenders for backup at Ignister. Backup at Ignister discards a card at resolution of her effect, meaning that the Dangers can just serve as extra extenders. They just keep up on your card and field advantage if you use backup alongside them. One good example I can show you is right here. We're going to use backup at Administer. Backup is going to discard the Danger Jackalope. It has to be on resolution because she adds the discards. We're going to add the Maliss Feed White and Mark here. And you're probably thinking, well, is this really a one-card combo? Well, 1.5 because of the dangers. Yes, it is. Danger Jackalope is going to summon Danger Tsushinoko. And with Danger Tsushinoko and backup at Administer, we're going to make one monster that's probably not in a lot of people's radar when it comes to the extra deck. The monster that I'm thinking of is Cherubini, the Ebon Angel of the Burning Abyss. For those who don't know, this is a monster that requires 2 level 3s. 3/3/3. And Cherubini's effect enables you to send as a cost one level 3 monster from your deck to your graveyard to then target an Abyss monster, Burning Abyss monster on the field. Be it the Cherubini. The monster we're setting is Maliss P. Dormount. And if you already know what Maliss P. Marshare does, this is full combo. I just gotta let it play out. Again, I'm not gonna explain any combos. If you want me to do more detailed combo guides, feel free to comment on the video and ask for them. I just feel like a lot of good YouTubers are doing a lot of good combo already, and I just don't want to be chilling out as me doing the best combo guides in this deck, especially since the play patterns in behind Maliss can change varying from player to player. But this is more to showcase you that the danger cards actually do enable you to full combo with the Maliss cards. So yeah, that's another card I want to talk about is Chaotic Elements. This is a new card that is coming in ALIN Insight, and this card adds a level 5 higher light or dark pyro or aqua monster for your deck to your hand. But it also has extra effects depending if you have more pyros and aqua monsters. The really cool gimmick behind this card, I already made a video talking about this, but this card can steal Ryzeal Detonator. So against the Ryzeal strategy specifically, this card is both an extender and a board breaker. A lot of people are thinking about K9, thinking about Christina as an action when it comes to this card, but Danger Nessie is an aqua monster that you can add with Chaotic Elements. So there is a world where you just play Chaotic Elements in your Maliss strategy to just tutor into your danger cards. The last card I want to talk about is a new card that got revealed for Alliance Insight. It's a new TCG exclusive called Replicard LAD. And this card reads, you can banish one other level 7 or higher monster in your hand, special summon this card from your hand, you can target one face-up monster you control, special summon from your deck a monster that has a different name that shares 2 or more of the same level, attack, and or defense, but it cannot activate its effects this turn. So this card can summon Danger Nessie. This card can summon other things. It's a chain that it has to be with attack or defense, but the fact, the reason I'm showcasing you this card is because this is a Dark Cyber, meaning that you can add this card with backup Administer, and if you're playing the Kashtira engine, you can use this card to banish like the Kashtiras. You can banish Danger Nessie, you can banish Lobelia if you're playing the Lobelia packet. There you can banish the like other miscellaneous cards, but the number one reason I want to showcase this card is because the pool of variety that you can use involving Dark Cyrus one. Like, let's say for example, you summon the Maliss P Dormouse and you use the Replic card. Replic card can summon something with the same defense and type, well, defense on level. So all the Maliss have 300 defense and they're all level 3. So that's something to keep an eye on if you're thinking about stuff like that. Another example would be Template Skipper, and I'll show you why Template Skipper with this card that is hitting. So it's just showcasing you the ability to summon Flash Mage. You can summon Wicked, you can summon Lizardos, you can do just a plethora of different things. Now, you probably already saw it if you were paying attention to the screen. In my left side, I already showcased the card, but the card that's banished face down is another tech you can play with the Replica, and you can also play it because of backup added mystery. And I haven't seen anybody talk about this card yet, so let me be one of the first people to talk about it, like in this underground episode. The card I'm thinking about, after showcasing you the temples, is Nightmare Corruptor Iblis. So, Nightmare Corruptor Iblis is a Dark Cyrus monster, so you can add this and discard this with backup added mystery. This card can resummon Link monsters that point sideways, so you can reborn SP Little Knight, you can reborn the half of Lizardos, you can reborn half of your Maliss monsters as well. This card can make Linger Evil as well, so by itself you can just link it away. And this card is really strong against every non-Maliss deck. So for context, what can this card do against like opponents? If you're playing against Ryziel, most Ryziel lists are not playing Link monsters. So this card shuts down Ryziel entirely. Against the Mitsurugi deck, this card also shuts down Mitsurugi because they will not be able to ritual summon until they link summon. So that just puts them in a very awkward position if you have disruptions for their normal summons. Other things to note is that under this card you cannot get Bestial, so if you're playing a Phoenix combo deck, you don't have to worry about those. If you don't have to worry about Infinite Permanence as well, you don't have to worry about Cypher Deer Gamma. Cypher Deer Delta has been talked about a little bit as of late, so that's another card you don't have to worry about. Yeah, this card makes it so your opponent can Lightning Storm as well. This card is just very uncomfortable for a lot of non-Maliss decks. So, if you are template testing Maliss, you should highly consider this card. Just being searchable with Replica card or being searchable with a backup Administer is already like good for this card. At worst case scenario, you can add it with Silent Mining. They just start their plays that way. Oh, did I mention you cannot get the Brood if your opponent controls Emily? Yeah, Nibiru kinda hurts a lot of Maliss then if people are not careful, right? Yeah, this card is also shuts that down. But yeah, this is one of the many few things I wanted to talk about today in today's episode. More underground episodes coming soon. Keep practicing and keep bullying.